Hey YouTube, my name is Marida and welcome to another edition of the Nurse Lounge. Today we are going to be talking about the what is my topic? Oh, 10 things I wish I knew before starting nursing school. So if you want to see what top 10 things that I should have known or I wish I had known before I started nursing school, say so. We're back. My name is Dr. Marida P. I am a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for 16 years now. I am an OB/GYN well baby nurse and a nurse educator, nurse mentor, nurse consultant, nurse blogger, a whole lot of nurse things. And we are going to talk about 10 things that I wish I had have known before starting nursing school. Now, with this being said, there's going to be some things in here that there's no way to know. There's no way you know it until you go through it. But even still, I really feel like it still belongs on my list because I just feel like, I wish somebody could have helped a sister out and said, hey, this is what you could expect when you come into nursing and how it's going to be. So some of these things are pretty much a given. Other things I had to experience to know that it was true for me. All right, so here we go. I have my book here, so I'll be looking down from time to time just to stay on track. I will tell you what the 10 things are, and after each one, it kind of explain a little bit what I mean by that, so you'll have a better understanding. So the first thing that I wish I had known before starting nursing school is the workload. I don't think I even fathomed what the workload would be like. I just remember in not even in nursing school, but I remember my experiences with nurses and hospital settings were very limited prior to nursing school. Besides having my own children, I really don't think I knew what nurses really did. I just know when I saw them, they were sitting down. So, and believe me, I know we do everything but sit down. And when you do see us sitting down, it's because of the fact that we tired, we charting, and it is what it is. So I know better now, but honestly, I don't think I understood the workload would be, or the rigor of the workload would be that serious. I do know on our floor in OB, it is feast or famine. So therefore, sometimes, yes, it can be kind of busy. And there's days if I only have one patient, well, I will be sitting down. But for the most part, my workload is pretty strenuous. The next thing I have is the mindset. I don't think I knew the mindset that you had to be a nurse. I always thought you had to be smart to be a nurse. And I never thought I was smart enough to be a nurse. And yes, that is putting myself down, but I honestly thought you had to be very intelligent, and you do. Okay, don't get me wrong, you do. But truth be told, I'm kind of like, wow, critical thinking. And I'm going to actually do another video on critical thinking. I'm going to do an exercise with you all on critical thinking. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. Critical thinking, I'm like, oh, well, that's a foreign concept. Who does that? And critical thinking is just a way of you knowing how to care for your patient and taking care of your patient in a way that's going to have a positive health outcome. And you able to think through a scenario or situation to make sure that he or she does come out on the other side okay. And just because someone has diabetes, as an example, doesn't mean you treat everybody with diabetes the exact same. That's kind of what I'm talking about. So if somebody has hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia, or gestational diabetes, so she's pregnant and have diabetes while she's pregnant, you treat all three patients differently. That's critical thinking right there. Never knew nothing about it before coming into nursing school. Number 3, this is silly. I never knew that I actually had to save people's lives. So you're probably like, what did you think nursing school was about? I have no idea what I thought it was about. I don't know what I thought I was getting myself into, because like I told you all, I thought I saw everybody else all sitting down. So I don't know what I thought they did. I don't know who I thought saved these people's lives. I really thought that we just did, like, I wouldn't say tech work per se, that we did do tech work, but like we passed meds. Yeah, I think that's all I thought that we did. I don't know. And even OB, we have to save people's lives. If people are hemorrhaging and carrying on, we have to do something about it. So I don't know honestly what I don't know what I was thinking, but yes, as nurses, we have to save people's lives. And honestly, the doctors don't do, I don't say they don't do anything, but when it comes to patient care, it's the nurse who's the one who is there to intervene. And I think I thought the doctor did more than what he or she does. And I think that's why I had that mindset that we have to save people's lives, or we didn't save people's lives. I thought the doctors did that. No, it's the nurses who do it. I mean, mind you, when it comes to surgeries and things like that, yeah, doctors do that, but the nurses save lives. Okay, so just know your role. Okay, just know your role. You got to save some lives, so you got to be educated to do so. Number 4, I wish I had known that I couldn't go straight to day shift out of nursing school. There may be some jobs where you all know that maybe you got a job right out of nursing school on day shift, but for the most part, you gonna be working nights, boo. We working nights. You have to pay your dues to get to day shift. It's very hard typically if you work in a hospital setting to get the day shift, especially as a new grad. They want you to know how to do night shift. And I wish I had known that, because I actually cried at my first interview, because honestly, I thought that I would be able to get a day shift job. And in my first interview, she says, okay, you'll be working nights. And I'm like, nights? And I literally sat there at the interview and cried. So literally, I mean, needless to say, I did not get that job because I didn't know. I honestly thought I would be coming on to day shift. I don't know. My issue was this. I had small girls at the time. I think they were probably about 5 and 3 or something like that. Or maybe 4 and 2, somewhere around there, 4, 2, 5, 3, somewhere around there, their ages. And I remember thinking, who's going to watch my kids at night? There's no daycare open at night. And I knew I found a daycare that would be open for like 13 hours where I could take them during the day. So that's the reason why I was so devastated by the fact of me not being able to get a day shift job. But yes, I stayed on nights for 12, I want to say 12 of my 16 years. I've been on days for about 4 years now. So I had to pay my dues. I had to work nights. Then I needed the money because I needed the shift differential anyway. So yeah, I don't know why I thought I was coming straight to day shift when I got to nursing school. Number 5, the amount of responsibility as a nurse. I don't think, again, that kind of ties back into number 1 and number 2, but I didn't think about how much responsibility we have and how we have to think for not only ourselves, but if you're the charge nurse, you have to be in charge of your other nurses. You have to be in charge of your patients plus their patients. And when I say in charge, I mean you are overseeing everything. It doesn't mean you're actually doing the patient care. If you have LPNs on your floor, you have to take care of, do their meds or their IV push meds. You have to do their admissions. You have to do all kinds of things that I didn't think we would be responsible for as registered nurses. So I'm kind of, or as nurses, period. But if you're a registered nurse specifically, our LPN responsibilities fall up under you to make sure that they are doing their interventions appropriately and documenting accordingly. You have to know your scope of practice plus the LPN scope of practice. You have to know what you can and cannot do as a nurse. You have to know so much. And so then you didn't realize, okay, well, you know what? If this nurse didn't do what she was supposed to do, and now it's your shift, and the next thing you know, it falls on you to do, or sometimes you have to be the one who tells the patient, no, that can't happen, even though the last nurse said it could happen, because now you on duty and now it's your license is at jeopardy and you're not about to risk your license. So there's a whole lot of responsibility to being a nurse that I don't think I was aware of. Again, I thought we just sat for, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know. And I don't even know why I'm still here, to be honest with you. Okay, number 6. I didn't know, or I wish I had known, that I would be discriminated against by other nurses, doctors, and patients. So what do I mean by that? I mean exactly what it says. I did not know that. I knew that in the world itself that discrimination was an issue. Now, keep in mind, I became a nurse at age 26. So I was a little bit older when I became a nurse. I was getting that first degree in psychology, as I had told you in many videos ago. So becoming a nurse at age 26, I had experienced a few things. I had 2 children by then. I had experienced a lot of life experiences, and I know what discrimination feels like, but I just felt like in the nursing world or in the healthcare world, it wouldn't be like it was. But I discovered very soon thereafter that it doesn't make a difference what world you're living in, nursing world, healthcare world, business world, education world. There's discrimination everywhere. So to get discriminated against from other nurses, I thought we were definitely a team Definitely not. From doctors, definitely not. Sometimes it's an ego thing for them. Sometimes it is a race thing for them. And then from patients, I felt like that I think was the most shocking to me, that patients would discriminate against you or wouldn't want you to care for them because you happen to be of another ethnic group that you can't control. I'm still kind of perplexed even today that the fact that we have issues with people because of what they look like, that none of us can control. I can't help what I look like. I can't help what race I am. I am the combination of my mom and my dad. This is what when you put them two together, and this is what you come out with in terms of this, and I have siblings who look different from me, and you put them together 4 other times and you come out looking like my other 4 siblings. We cannot help as people who we look like. So if I can't help what I look like, why would I want to? Anyway, you know what? We're not even going to finish that thought because I know why. I'm not that I don't know why, but I just feel like as a patient, if somebody's trying to help me, I don't know if I'd be so deeply rooted into my, I guess you would be. I guess because I'm not a racist and I don't discriminate that I don't understand that mindset, but I guess it's not meant for me to understand because I help all my patients no matter what your situation is. I'm going to take care of you. So yeah, I think that was something that I wish if somebody could have said, hey, people are not going to like you because of what you look like, and patients are not going to like you because of what you look like. Be ready for that. No one ever told me that. Number 7. This kind of ties into number 6 a little bit, that I had to work harder on my education than others. So this is not going to be a race video, so I don't want you all to think that, but my reality is my reality. And I grew up in a military town that it was quite diverse. We saw mixed kids all the time. I came from a high school that was not the greatest high school, but we all did what we did, and I graduated. But I did, when I went to nursing school, I found that, or not even nursing school was the start of it, that I had to work twice as hard, I felt like, to get the same type of education as my counterparts would have. I would find that some of my peers, some of my peers would be privy to information that I wouldn't even, like, when did you find that out? When did you know the class had changed? We never got the email, or we never knew, or they knew something we didn't know. Like they had groups that we didn't have. They had, I don't even know if texting was a thing back then, because mind you, I went to school in 2004. No, I graduated in 2004. I went to school in 2002. So I don't even know if we had texting back then. I don't remember. But anyway, I just don't think I was privy to what everybody else was privy to. So I felt like we had to work harder for our education. And I find that to still be true. Here I am 2 degrees after the bachelor's degree of nursing, and I still have to say the same thing, that we have to work a little harder. Now, even when it comes to nursing, being in the nursing field, I still say the same thing, that yes, we have to work a little harder. And I say that because of the fact that I have seen, and this is not my personal situation, or actually, yes, it is my personal situation in one situation in academia, but in the hospital setting, I have seen where my counterparts would get a job, and mind you, I didn't want the job, so this is not even about me, but I have seen where there was a position open to be a manager on our floor, and several people were up for that position. 2 or 3 nurses were up for the position. Typically, to be a manager, you should have a bachelor's degree, right? And in this particular situation, an associate's prepared nurse got the job. Now, some people will argue, well, sometimes associate prepared nurse has the more experience, whatever. This wasn't the situation in this case. The situation was simply, it was an African-American nurse who had a master's degree at the time, who had more years of experience, who had, as a nurse, and then had also experience in management, who got passed over for someone who has an associate's degree, and had no management experience at all, but because of, again, probably who she knew. And she happened to be another race. So I do know for a fact that we have to work twice as hard to get to the same positions if we ever get there at all. And for my personal story, I have seen time and time again where I have trained people who have less education than I have to be in positions over me. So I'm training my boss. How does that make any sense? You have you don't have the credentials and I have them, but I'm training you to be over me. So, you know, I've seen that time and time again. I've mentioned that in my being a nurse while black videos. But again, that's kind of what I'm saying when it comes to, I never knew that it was not an equal playing field. And again, maybe I'm a little naive, or I was a little naive at the time, but again, that's a reality I learned after the fact. All right, number 8, people are jealous. I have never seen so many people who are jealous for you for no reason. Like, okay, well, if you want to get you a higher education, then go get you a higher education. Ain't nobody stopping you. I have met so many people at some current employer or a former employer that kept on, you know, giving me a hard time because I was going back to school to get my doctoral degree at the time. And again, I wish that as a nurse, not that I ever planned on getting my doctoral degree when I first pursued my BSN, but I wish people would say that, you know what, you're going to have people who are just jealous of you for the fact that you breathing, or jealous of you for the fact that you have hazel eyes. I have hazel eyes, and these are my natural eyes. People ask me all the time. Yes, they're my eyes. I do not wear contacts. My eyes are hazel and they change color. So people, I'm like, okay, what does it have to do with, you know, nursing? What does it have to do with you taking care of the patient? Or people are jealous of you because the school was a big issue for me. That people were like, okay, you going back to school, or I heard you were going back to school to get your whatever degree. And I said, I am. And, oh, well, I would never do nothing like that. I'm happy with my bachelor's degree. But nobody asked you what you was trying to do. You asked me what I was trying to do. So again, when jealousy rears its ugly head, it's ugly. Like, why are you, you know, why are you trying to hate on me because I'm doing something different with my life? I don't ask you, you know, why don't you want to still just a BSN? Why don't you go on and get another degree? If you want to do something different, you'll do something different. And I wanted to do something different. I'm not one who follows. I'm definitely a leader. I'm not a follower. So I don't do things because everybody else does it. I definitely, you know, stay in my own lane, create my own path. All right, number 9. People will dislike you for wanting more. So that ties into number 8. Because I want more, they will like you. They will dislike you just because you want more out of life. And because they're complacent, because they don't have the energy or desire to do anything with their lives, they upset with you because you decided that you want to do something different with your life. I don't know where this comes from, but we need to stop that kind of behavior. If I want to do something different with my life, so be it. I'm going to do something different with my life. So, you know, y'all need to just be, I don't know. I wish I had known that before, that people would be so caught up into my business, into what I'm doing, into, I always say, you know, give your haters front row seats. They want to see what's going on. They don't like anything that you do, but yet they sit there and be trying to copy you the whole time. I've noticed that a lot of times on my social media feed, people who do not like me at all, but they'll sit there and not like or comment or whatever, but the next thing you know, they're doing the same thing I'm doing. I'm like, and then they got the audacity to ask me for a referral, or for a letter to go to school or whatever, to write their reference letter. I'm like, really? But you was the one who was down in me because of what I was. Yeah. Number 10, the last one. All right. This is the 10 things I wish I knew before starting nursing school. And the number 10 one is, you will definitely find out who is willing to support you and who is not willing to support you. So you will lose friends. And I think that was I wouldn't say the biggest thing, but one of the things that came to light. I'm like, oh my gosh, you will lose the support of so many people when you decide to embark upon a journey that you are destined to become. And I don't say that lightly, but I have lost so many people along the way. Family who never understood, why are you going back to school to get your doctorate degree? And I tell people this from LPN school on up. When you run with a certain crowd for a period of time, and that crowd no longer really suits your needs, and I think a lot of you will resonate with this. They no longer suit your needs. You tired of the club scene. I used to be in the club. Me and my friend, we used to go be in the club. Yeah, we used to be in the club. So we used to do well, not all the time, but we would be in the clubs. We was on the scene, okay? We would do stuff like that. But we were both one of those type of people who would do what we do, but we was going to school. We were going to school to better our lives. So we kind of dabbled into that environment, but we definitely was so focused on school that we never let that kind of set us back from anything. We were always focused and driven, but we still like to have fun. And to this day, well, we have kids now, so we can't have as much fun, but we still like to have fun, but we can't because we have kids. And but that's neither here nor there. I digress. So but you will find that people who they don't, you're like, okay, well, you would think they would be supportive of me. You would think they would be happy that I'm going to do something with my life. No, they trying to keep you in the same spot they in. They don't, because they don't want to do nothing with their lives. They still want to work low end jobs that's not going anywhere. And I am not knocking low end jobs, but there's a difference between a job and a career. Keep that in mind. There's a difference between a job and a career. Okay, I have a career. I have a career in healthcare as a registered nurse that I've actually moved within my career, moved and changed and transitioned into different roles while I'm actually in my field of as being a nurse. So I have lost support from family, from friends. There's people who tell me, oh, you think you better than, oh, you bougie now, you this, that, and the other. Call me what you want to call me. You must think I'm that way. But and I've been told I've been bougie before, so I'm not really offended by it, just because I happen to carry myself in a certain way and happen to like nice things. But I am pretty much a down-to-earth person who is goal-driven, a goal digger, someone who definitely knows what she wants and she goes after it. And if you don't align with what I want to do for my future, then you will be left in my past. And that's exactly how that works. So I encourage you all to do the same. It will hurt when you have friends or family members who don't support what you do, especially when you're doing something positive. Like, why you want to be a nurse? Why can't you? Well, you don't want to go to the club with us? No, because I got to go to class tomorrow. No, because this is my livelihood. This is how I'm going to take care of my kids. Maybe you have children you're trying to take care of. You want a different life for them than what you had or what you've seen or whatever happens to be. You go do your life. These people going to be in the same spot that they at 15 years from now, okay? Let me, as an example, I know people that I went to high school with. And I graduated from high school in 1996, okay? So, being that I went to high school or graduated in 1996, there are people who are doing the exact same things we did when we were 18 years old, and I'm 42 now, that they doing the same thing today they was doing back then. And I'm like, okay, and they haven't moved up in their jobs. They got the same kind of job. They don't really have anything going for them. And that is fine if that's what you want to do with your life. But don't be down on people who want to do something different and then call them bougie and high class or high strut, whatever you want to call them, because of the fact that you think that they are, when people say, oh, you think you better than somebody. No, you think I'm better than somebody. That's why you said it. I have no reason to think that because I went and got an education. Again, I've belabored that one long enough for number 10. But yes, you will definitely, I wish I'd have known I was going to lose people along the way. I have no hard feelings towards losing people along the way. It is what it is. It is life and how it goes. But again, that's just how it is sometimes. So hopefully you have found my top 10 things that I wish I knew before starting nursing school, either humorous or insightful, or I wish somebody had told me that too. But that's what it is. And I thank you for watching this video in its entirety. Definitely follow me on IG. You will see the handle somewhere on this screen, also in the description box below. You will also subscribe to this channel. What you waiting on? It's free. There's no reason why you don't need to subscribe. It's free. Hit the notification bell so you'll know the next time that I upload a video. Please like, comment, and share so you can see this face again. And not only that, we need to go ahead and get my videos out to people who want to be postpartum nurses. I am meeting so many people via YouTube who said that they want to be an OB nurse. I have never seen so many black people in an OB who, in terms of YouTube world, my entire life, okay? In my real life, I don't see many black people in OB. And I've discussed that on another video before. We're just not in OB as much for various reasons. So I'm so thrilled that you all are wanting to come into be OB nurses, postpartum labor and delivery, NICU, nursery, whatever you want to be in the OB realm. I'm excited for you all. Welcome to welcome to OB, obstetrics and gynecology. A lot of times you do have GYNs on your floor as well. So welcome to this area of nursing. So that's the reason why I say push these videos out, because there's people out there who need to see minority nurses, someone who looks like me, in that specialty area. Until the next time, you all take care. Bye-bye.